is a legal consultant for the American Humanist Association, the AHA. That is the group that filed the lawsuit. She said high school teacher Gwen Pope would participate in prayer sessions and promote a club called the Fellowship of Christian Students. Miller said she was contacted last year by Gavin Hunt, a sophomore at the high school, who said Pope was unconstitutionally promoting religion in his class. While Hunt's identity was not revealed in the lawsuit, he agreed to reveal his identity in an interview with KOMU 8 News. The AHA reached out to the school and sent a letter informing them that this practice that has been established is unconstitutional, and the district chose not to resolve it. Shame on my high school alma mater for trying to sweep this under the rug like it didn't happen. It's like, oh, if it'll quietly go away, then maybe they won't file a lawsuit. I don't think they know who they're dealing with. And I'm talking about my high school alma mater here. Alright? Well, the group filed a complaint against the district on November 20th, which includes allegations against former principal Darren Rappert, saying he promoted Pope's prayer sessions. Now, the complaint references the school district policy, which says, and I quote, "Employees of the district or other adults may not sponsor, promote, or lead student-initiated groups or meetings," unquote. Let me reiterate that. Employees of the district or other adults may not sponsor, promote, or lead student-initiated groups or meetings. Plain and simple English. You can't make it any simpler than that. Well, Hunt is an atheist and told Channel 8 News he recently left the school because of religious environment the school promotes. He now goes to school in Peoria, Illinois. That is sad. This young man has to go into another state just to find a district where he can finish out his high school years. Now, I would assume Christians would be accepting, but it actually turned out to be the opposite, Hunt said. But I'm not the one to stand down. I've got to stand up for what I believe in. Good for you, Mr. Hunt. Now, KOMU 8 News requested interviews with both Superintendent Cameron Kimball as well as Principal Corey Felton. Both initially refused to comment on the allegations. Now, if this is the Corey Felton I'm thinking of, he was in the class 2 years behind me. Okay? Well, an update yesterday said the district has released a written statement. Actually, this is from Friday. Has released a written statement to the media saying the Fayette School District has recently learned through various media outlets that a lawsuit has been filed against the district alleging violations of the First Amendment. The district has not yet received a copy of the lawsuit, and thus it cannot make any specific comment at this time concerning the allegations. The district is mindful of the First Amendment rights of its students and staff members, and its Board of Education has adopted policies which specifically address the First Amendment protections afforded to students and staff members. The district strives to respect and abide by the constitutional rights of its students and staff members. It will vigorously defend against any claim that the district has taken actions which violate any person's First Amendment rights. Now, subsequently, after I posted that story, of course I've got a lot of comments on my Facebook page, and a friend of mine who is a year behind me also posted it on her Facebook page. Now, we both received numerous statements, and I've read other comments on Channel 8's website, on the Columbia Daily Tribune. That was the other source I think I forgot to mention. As a matter of fact, they called me the next morning to follow up on it. Well, anyway, I've read other comments on other pages, and one of the things that really disturbs me is I've seen a reaction to everything from to where I stand, which is this is wrong, flat out wrong, regardless of your religious beliefs. This is against the law, and the district should be punished for it. And I'm talking about my high school alma mater here. Most of my education, formal education, was in Fayette, Missouri. 16 years of it. Only 1 year outside of that district, which was in Columbia. That's where I had kindergarten. but from first grade all the way up through college was all in Fayette. 12 years in the public school system, 4 years at Central Methodist College, now Central Methodist University. Now, the media has kind of drifted away from this, but according to the complaint that I read, and this is going to get my college alma mater into hot water a little bit too. Now, keep in mind, I love Central Methodist University. I'm proud of the education that I received there. I'm proud of the fact that I overcame so many obstacles to go to college financially, emotionally, and most importantly, academically. Okay? And my hometown church is kind of involved in this too, because the Methodist Church sponsors, at least on the statewide and national scale, kind of help sponsor this college, this university. Okay? It's part of the namesake. Now, the church is still separate from the college on some levels, but it still plays a part of the community. But anyway, the math teacher's husband, Gwen Pope, her husband, Michael D. Pope, and I don't know if he's still employed at Central Methodist University, but he's something like Director of Church Relations or something to that effect. Well, apparently, according to the lawsuit, he also came in and participated in on some of the prayer sessions and promoted it. And among other things in this lawsuit, things that I've found, the teacher had a book in her classroom on a shelf out in plain view in public, something about God's game plan. I think it was the title of it. God's game plan right there in plain sight. That is against the law too. And then getting back to how Central Methodist University is involved indirectly, this Michael Pope apparently also promoted some of his religious propaganda in the classroom as well and helped his wife out with the prayer sessions. I have no problem with a teacher who is a devout Christian. But when you push it in your classroom, and when you push it on public school grounds, whether it's during class hours or after class hours or before class hours, that is flat out wrong. It says so in your damn handbook. You were told this. It is against the law of the district, state law, and federal law. And getting back to the comments that I have read on various Facebook pages and on various news sites, is everything from apathy is like, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is this teacher and this principal, Rappert, broke the law knowingly and repeatedly. This has been going back at least since 2010 for 3 years. Now, reportedly, these two are no longer employed in the district. Okay? But I don't know if the practice is still going on. Other comments that I've seen is, well, we need more prayer in public school. Well, the law says you can't do that. It flat out says so. And the Fayette District prohibits it according to the handbook. So you can't have religious propaganda in there. Because if you have Christianity in there, you have to represent Judaism, Islam, Taoism, Buddhist, Hindu. The list goes on and on. But I know for a fact that Islam would never go over in that district. You know, it's funny how this story has been twisted by a lot of Christians who are making themselves out to be the victims. And yet they're the ones... Now, I'm not saying all the Christians in that school are doing that, okay? It's only a select few. So I want to back off from making broad generalizations because I hate broad generalizations, regardless of the situation. Because usually violators are the exception, not the norm, in most situations. But it's funny how the people that are standing up for more religious rights are being trampled on and we're being persecuted. Bullshit. Pardon my language, but that offends me. And you know that's wrong. Now, if you take that kind of a stance, you are clearly missing the point of what's wrong here. This teacher used school resources and facilities to promote her religious views, And the students involved in this, I don't know if they should be punished or not, but they were clear in the wrong too, at least morally, because they know this is wrong. We were told this when I was a student there, and obviously the rule's not changed, okay? But this is not a religious matter. This is a civil rights matter. Now, you're not going to please everyone all the time. I get that, and I understand that. But when this young man has to go into Peoria, Illinois, because he can't get an education where he wanted to, something is clearly wrong with this system. Okay? So this is clearly a civil rights matter. This has nothing to do with religion, in my opinion. Religion is, and it plays a part in it, but that is not the central problem here. And this is part of the reason why I have a problem with Christianity in of itself. Because when so many people get so hung up on, we got to promote religion at all times, to where it becomes intrusive into places that it's not permitted, then you got a problem. Now, I don't want to get into the theological aspects of it right now, but the law clearly states that this is a place of education, not a place of evangelism. Okay? So this notion that we need more prayer in school, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Now, if you want to go promote religion into your kids, fine. That's your business, that's your choice. But you can do it in a church school, you can do it at home, do it in your place of worship. But you don't do it at a tax-paid place, like a public school district. Students are there to go to function out here in the real world. Now, if they want to become a minister, let them go to a religious school or go on that path. 25 years ago, I was headed on that path. But over the years, I came to realize that that was not the path for me. Okay? But as far as this lawsuit goes, I don't know when it's going to come up to case, but I have a feeling it could still get settled out of court. But I think the district is in over its head now. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Fayette. I still love the school system there, and I'm proud to be a Falcon. I'll always be a Falcon, regardless of my political or religious stance. But this is not a matter of Christians being persecuted, as so many have said or claimed to be persecuted. This is a civil rights matter. Okay? And one more observation, then I'm going to move on to the next topic. The thing I noticed on the law, all the posts, whether it be on my Facebook page or on the news sites, not once did I read of a Christian praying on the behalf of Mr. Hunt or on fellow atheists in the district. It's about we're being persecuted, or what's the big deal. That's all I saw. But I'll keep you up to date on this as I learn more. Alright? Let's see. What's next on the old agenda? Kind of along the same theme here. Last week, of course, was it Tuesday? Yeah, last Tuesday was the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. And it amazes me of the Obama critics. Personally, I like the president. Lately, I've called into question some of his actions, more to the point his inactions and some of his decisions, because he's losing his grip on leading this country. The Affordable Care Act has been a complete disaster. Putting that aside for a moment, I still like the president. I don't agree with some of the things that have gone on lately, but last week, of course, was the 150th. Okay, Joe, get to the point. Was the 150th anniversary of the Gettysburg Address. The Obama critics come out once again, and they'll nitpick at the most mundane details of stuff that I wouldn't even dream of. And that is that some conservatives are irked at his reading of the Gettysburg Address as part of a project celebrating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's famous speech. Now, for the project, spearheaded by Dr.